أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم اللهم صل على محمد وعلى محمد وعجل فرجهم. Today is 26th of May 2026 and it's Tuesday and we're going to do a trade review of the last day. So it was a red day and the trade was not that bad, but there was one slight mistake or a slight one thing which I noticed, uh, and one more mistake I did which was not technical. I traded on two main account at the same idea. I took two trades on two main account at the same idea, which I said a rule that I will not do that for this month at least. And let's just get into the day. Okay, I start from the daily chart. I traded GBUSD. I looked at gold and GBUSD and decided that I will look at GBUSD for any opportunity. So we're going to talk about this candle on daily chart. We went into the deep discount and then we went higher. There's no high low being taken, any relatively weaker low, and we went for upside. Then we are on this trade. We are in premium. So, but by seeing on this side, we were going to upside. Okay. On higher time frame, we were expanding to the upside. But at the same time, I highlighted this weekly, it's a gap. It's a weekly gap which I highlighted, and then this daily wick. On 4-hour chart, we made relative equal lows, which interested me the second I looked at the 4 hours chart. That these lows can be taken down and will be taken down most probably, and there were some highs as well. Okay, so this was the area which I was looking at. This weekly, semi weekly bearish fair value gap of this upper quarter, and there was this daily wick and its low quarter. Okay, but there was no higher time frame sign of bearishness. Okay, like there was no clean break in market structure. So we're going. This is a New York session, and let's just get to the day. So I took a short trade, and it resulted in loss. And then in the PM session, we did consolidate a bit, and then went to a downside to the main area. Okay, so let me talk. Let me give the reason why did I take this trade. So on 15-minute chart, we went into that weekly opening gap. Okay, its upper quarter respected it, and 15, and then we break to a downside. Okay, plus this upper quarter was respected to a downside. Okay, when this was a sign for me. I'll talk about it later. So this was a sign for me that we're going to go to the downside, and we are respecting that area to the downside. So it's a weak sign, and there was this 5-minute first presented fair value gap, and then 1 minute as well. This was a 1 minute first presented fair value gap. We went higher first, took this high. There was a higher. Okay, we took this high, and we break to the downside. We enter here. I wanted this upper quarter to be respected to the downside, and it did respect to the downside. I entered here on this proportional block, and we went down, and we touched the low quarter of the weekly opening gap, of which upper quarter was respected. So this was not a good sign, but I stick to it because I was more interested in the way we respected the upper quarter. Then we did consolidate a bit, went to that 5-minute first presented fair value gap, and then I also talked about it. Let me show you. Okay, this was the day. There was no news Monday. I forgot to tell that. Apologize. So this is the week. Tuesday. Today is Tuesday, and there will be no New York news day. On Wednesday there is no news, and then there is no Tuesday. So I have to be careful on these 2 days, and can be bold a bit on these Thursday. So in this screenshot, we were here on this first presented 5-minute gap. Consolidate a bit, make a relative equal low. So why there was a relative equal low? We went down. We didn't took this low. There was a low time frame, smooth lows to the downside. You can see it didn't took this, and it didn't take this. And there was this consolidation. Then we went into this 5-minute first presented fair value gap, and I said here, we're here right now, consolidated now at the 5-minute first present. If we are bearish now, I want it to respect it to the downside, and we'll love if there is a small, we'll go into the 1-minute first presented fair value gap and close below, and then expand to the downside. What I mean by this, at that time it wasn't happened, but it was happened after that, I think. So we were here when I posted the screenshot. Then we went lower, took the lows, and then went higher, took the highs, plus respected the low body of that 1-minute first presented. That was a very good sign. And then we expand to downside. There was a clean breaker, and I entered on a logical place. This was logical, and I entered on the other account here. I did enter at the same time on both accounts. I took this trade, and here I took another trade. We went lower into the daily IFVG, CE, and then we expand to upside. SL was hit, and this was the day. And then we went for a downside, but not smoothly, very weirdly, even though there was no news on Monday. You can see this kind of candles at the so this was the day, and now let's talk about what could be the reason, what the mistake I saw that could be a mistake, which I observed that I should have looked at it more clearly. First, I should have not stick with that upper quarter only, but there was weekly opening gap clearly, so which we respected to the downside. It's a quarter So this low quarter was a sign that if we respected that to downside, then we were clearly going to downside as we did here. And yes, we're going to this low quarter, and we'll see that at least we're going to this low quarter right now, 100%. So the main thing was there was no 1 minute reversal sign. There was no break in market structure. There was this, oh, this is not daily IFG, it's a 1 hour. Sorry, my bad. It's a 1 hour IFG. I'm saying it's a daily. Sorry. This is the daily low quarter. We respected it and went to the upside. Okay, we didn't touch the upper quarter, went to the above a bit of the C and then started. There was no, what I was talking about, there was no clear 1 hour break. So the difference between this and this is here we made a proportional block, then break to the outside. We will break, and then to be a sign that we can go over. But here there was no confirmed break. Okay, we did break this FPG and made this as IRPG, but still it was not a very sign. And one more thing was I should have this low quarter was a important area, and I should have looked at more carefully. I should have more alert. Went down, respected this low quarter and then this daily low quarter as well, and then we went to upside. Okay, so I think that's it. This was a day, not a good day, but I learned guys have to be more careful. And if there's a strong daily or a daily quarter and price is there, if there's a chance, set the stop loss to break. And well done the downside. Took the trade on DNA, $50 loss on that, and like 1 hour on loss on that, and GFT 1 hour as well. Less than 1 hour. 1 hour. Yeah, one. Yeah. No, 1 hour. Yes, it was 1 hour. This was the day. And let's talk about the daily review. What was the overall market corrector today? The overall high time frame was bullish. We were expecting to upside, but on 1 hour or 4 hours smooth lows were making. But no on 4 hour or even on 1 hour there was clean breakdown. So yeah, over a higher time frame was bullish, but and I took bearish on like took short on low time frame. How was the emotional state? I was confident and a bit more become overconfident. Became overconfident by entering again on another account. Even I set a rule last week that I will at least for this week take one trade on one account on one idea and then another trade on another after the previous trade. So what was you expecting or what happened? I was expecting a higher time price to went lower. Still I'm expecting. So yeah, after even the loss. And I think the time was I brought all this after the session, so I'm still accepting. So yeah, Narayan, you were right. You analyzed the market right, but the timing was not right. And for the timing, it's not only time but price as well. Look at higher time frame, clear sign. Okay, and then look for it. But still, the trade was not that bad. That was logical, and yeah, I don't regret it. But there was a slight mistake which I have to keep in mind. Smooth lows handle, but there's no high time frame clear sign or reversal or retracement, so I should keep that in mind. I was expecting price to respect our weekly upper quarter and went for the low, and for the weekly CE at least 50% of that weekly FEG and then lower quarter of the weekly. But price went higher and is right now above the upper quarter. Right now the time is 11:56 a.m. New York time. What was your best trade today? So there was no best trade, so nothing to write that about that. Did I make any mistake? What triggered me? Mistake 1. Mistake 1. I didn't wait for high time frame sign. I did not wait. I did not wait for high time frames. The clear sign of reversal or going lower, but still the trade was not a whole mistake. The trade was unlogical, but it would be better if I did wait for 1 hour to break. But there was a clean break on 15 minute. There was a clean break on 15 minute. Weekly upper quarter was respected, and we were too. But the land price then respected the low quarter of the weekly opening gap as well as the daily wick. So that was not a good sign. Price did show sign that it can reverse. The sign was the respecting of the low quarters. What triggered me? Okay, so I'm talking. The second mistake was this. I took the same idea trade on another main account, which I set a rule that I will not for this same yes as I said. What triggered me? When price went to the higher after spending some time low and created relative equal lows, went higher, then respected the 1 minute first presenting value gap plus took the smooth highs, 5 minute first presenting value gap plus breaker plus propulsion block. This triggered me or forced me or made me overconfident that this is a very strong side, which it was, and I entered on another account. So this in here I'm talking about of this price action. Okay, what is the one construct action I will take tomorrow to avoid repeating this? First, I will take one idea trade on one account, not both on the same account and same idea, and will look for 1 hour break or a clear sign of a more clear sign on higher time frame at least 1 hour, and will not only look for 1 quarter like I did today, like only focused on weekly opening, weekly upper quarter. like today only upper quarter, but 4-1 and 4 So there was other strong quarter as well as the weekly opening gap low quarter, of which upper quarter respected, and the low quarter of the daily. Plan for tomorrow. Will avoid the mistake I did today. I will not take trade on both main account at the same pair on the same idea, and will be careful. Tomorrow is no news Tuesday, so I have to keep that in mind, and will look at old data. Will look at old data of this day, and then we'll act according to that. So yeah, this was the day. Red day, but it's okay. That's part of the yeah. That's it for the day. Allah Hafiz.